Hello, everybody.
Good morning, Nancy Jean, and everyone hanging out with us this morning.
Mm-hmm. Thank you to the
So,
people who responded to my notice. We did put your questions in. They are in the chat now, so we will get to them.
your community post, good, good. Morning, Jeff. Yeah, um, Jeff emailed me, and I read about it too. But um, there was about 15 FBI agents fired because they were seen in social media posts along with the George Floyd protests.
Mm-hmm.
Some said they were just in solidarity to stop the
They just
violence,
want to stop the violence.
but they were fired anyway.
I know.
So we're in a messed up time. Morning, Carrie. Jane. So you did a garden, you said.
I did a garden.
Garden for the week?
It's a garden for this week.
All right. Let's see what that has to say.
Okay, here it is. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit closer. I should have looked at this before I did this part. Okay. Okay. And I just said, what should be the basic energy behind um, our own feelings and where we are this week? And what we got was really good. First of all, we got go for it and true is with our clarity, and that's interesting because clarity is kind of the overall understanding and the sort of message behind what's going on around us. And when it's in this means move now on our intuitions, and our ideas are very correct. So now is the time to focus on your positive thinking and your positive thoughts, collectively and as an individual. And then down, if you move down the thing, we get to water, and our body and our thoughts are in water. But when this card, I'm sorry, I did cards for too many years. When this crystal is in water, it means let go of limitations. Quit thinking, oh yeah, but they always do this. Don't think that. Think the most positive um, things that you can about how the outcomes can turn out to be. Even when there's people shooting at each other and doing all that stuff, just think about the people who aren't shooting at them. I mean, there's more of them than there are the ones that they put the cameras on. And then for our body being there, it means that we need to really stay grounded, so that sense of grounding inside ourselves. And then our spirit is in path forward and earth. And when the spirit's in path forward, balance your energy to move ahead, which is always a good thing to think about. But when it's in earth, it means that your spirit's transforming right now and it's not yet finished. And I've done a couple of different garden readings over the next couple of weeks. This week is just not quite done week, but it's a week to lay the grounds, the foundation stones, so that you know where you're headed. And then where's our grounding? It's in the future. And in the future, when it shows up there, it says all the gifts that we're getting right now are not yet recognized. And I think, and I've had that sort of meaning out of the garden several times in the last couple of weeks. We don't understand. There's so much we're not being told. There's so much we're being lied to about. We don't understand really how well in some ways things are going. I mean, they look absolutely horrible and miserable. And I got to admit, I never think a government shutdown's a good thing. But, it's not because we're not doing everything we can do. We can put all our emotional power on it. We just have to make people see how disruptive they are. And we have several questions that came through to us from people about the government shutdown. I'm sorry, my camera looks like we're having earthquakes in Texas. Um, anyway, so hang in there. I read an interesting article about recessions, which we are in, I mean, the way they market how much low growth you have to have for so many quarters. It's actually only 2. But recessions, they've been tracking kind of the recessionary effects of capitalism way back into the 1800s. And it used to take 20 to 24 months for us to come out of recessions. And we have sped that up quite a bit. A lot of that, I'm sure, has to do with the speed of communications. But anyway, I'm, after looking at these stones, I'm very optimistic about today. So we'll look at your questions and we'll try to not depress everyone terribly.
Well, we're just here to try to get the truth out, what we feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I threw some cards on this week to go with your garden. I think we're going to see some good judgments within the courts. So I got the Lovers, Queen of Swords, and the Four of Wands together here, and that makes me feel like the rule of law will be holding this week. So I think we're going to get some good news
So we
there.
get Clarence Thomas, who says precedent has no value in our legal system.
We're still at a crossroads within media, within the collective atmosphere, because I got the Two of Swords with positive energy, the Knight of Wands, the Star, and the Two of Swords.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good, but we're still.
I mean, it would be better if the Two of Swords wasn't there.
Right. So you still got those choices out there, and people trying to decipher what's actually true and what's positive and whatnot. The outcome is it's continual hard work to make things better, and we got to defend ourselves. We got to defend what's right. Continue to speak.
That's right.
And those are the last 3. But according to the first 3, the courts are going to hold yet. Until
you get to the Supreme Court.
Lately, yeah, they've been letting the Orange King continue to be an authoritarian, which is very sad for the Republic.
That's all that's holding them in their positions. I mean, now you can see that really is a matter of self-will, and you have to look at the quality of the people that are on that court. And I can think of at least 3 that could go tomorrow, and I wouldn't grieve. So
10 and 11 U.S. recessions officially recognized happened during Republican presidencies.
Yep.
Very true. Which is dumb. I mean, this one's self-induced. It's totally self-induced.
It's like, how do you make your country fail? Oh, let's do all these things that will make sure.
Let's go back to Holly Smoot and kick all the workers out. There was a shooting in North Carolina last night where a guy in a boat. Another shooting.
There was another person. Yeah, it's in Cape Fear, North Carolina, that area. Somebody else commented it in the chat. I did not see that. That was not the first feed on my feed this morning. First feed on my feed this morning is that the Texas Supreme Court thinks they're going to look at a case that will allow lawyers to practice in the state of Texas without being recognized by the American Bar Association. I sent you the article, Scott.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I mean, and that's one of Trump's thing. He wants to break up the big law schools. Well, that's not going to float because the University of Texas at Austin is one of the major law schools. And that, I know lawyers that pass the bar that I kind of wonder about how the Bar Association functions. getting rid of them completely is beyond anything I can imagine. Okay.
So Pete Hegseth,
His little
Kegstan ordered all the military from the world, the heads, wasting millions of dollars for them to come to a little powwow.
Not only wasting millions of dollars, but putting the commands in all kinds of.
That too. Yeah.
Also, because they have not made any provisions for what would get paid for if the government shuts down, there'll be no military pay. And I know people didn't like it. Sean was on with Linda G, and he said there is no provision to write Social Security checks or to grant those funds to flow. So it's October 1, and I'm one of those people, and she got really upset, and she said, this really upset my viewers, and they talked later because Sean said, well, do you want me to lie? And she said, no. And he said, they have made no, if you go back and you see when we've had potential government shutdowns and people saw it coming, they'd have carve-outs, things that would get paid. And they don't have any of this time because Trump thinks he's going to bluff the Dems into passing a budget. They won't pass. They can't. And not only that, but all the farmers got to realize they have, if you look in that budget, they've really cut down the subsidies that are going to farmers. So, by the way, farmers, if the government takes the money in and then passes it on to another person, if that person happens to live in a big city, you call it welfare. If it happens on a farm, you call it a subsidy. So,
yeah.
Not that I want your truck driven off the road by mad farmers in Wisconsin, Scott, but.
Yeah, harvest season started and nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think, who said it? Indigo Child. It's a military loyalty test.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it. It's like a Judgment, Knight of Pentacles, and the Hermit. It's kind of like Pete, in his heads are like, we're going to place judgment upon your honor unless you do some soul searching and come up with loyalty to Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So then I get the Death card. Ace of Cups and Nine of Wands. So it's kind of like undecided. How is this going to end? It's kind of undecided what loyalty and what they're going to do. Then I get King of Pentacles, High Priestess, and Ace of Wands. So we got new beginnings and things revealed about how to do business. The outcome I get, what Page of Wands, what Pete says, Knight of Cups, what's part of honor. Seven of Cups is all illusions, and I don't think they're going to stand for it with the Tower.
Yeah.
So whatever Pete's going to say, if it is a loyalty test, which it feels like, I don't think the heads are going to stand for it. I think they're going to rule with constitution and duty.
Right. What I got is they're very upset because it's the Seven of Swords reversed. They had to leave what they should be guarding. And this, you're right. This is calling us all home so we can all be in the same family. But these are my next two cards, Scott. The Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands. This means this is going to be the end of this. And it ain't going to end pretty because it's got the Ace of Cups reversed. It's not going to end up with good times. And I'm going to put a couple cards on the Ace of Cups. Oh, they're not going to bow to the Emperor's will. They're not going to bow to the... This may be the straw that breaks the camel's back. They're not going to bow to the Emperor's will. And this is a whole bunch of delusional thinking between him and Hegseth. And I'm sure some people who are smart talked Hegseth into doing this that don't like Hegseth, but they're hanging in there to try and hold it together. And what we got is in this deck, it's got a weird thing called Happy Squirrels. This is my bunny deck. And it's going to make all of us much less secure, and it's going to be kind of scary what's going to happen towards the end of the week. But that's what in my garden, when it says hold your head together and realize that these are good things that are happening, because these guys aren't giving in to these clowns. So
the new member that got elected in Arizona, Johnson's been delaying it. Last I heard, he said he was going to do it Tuesday. He could have done it last week. He won on Tuesday, but last I heard Tuesday. So
there is a time limit in there. He has to do it, or they're just declared that they're in.
Okay, good. Yeah, there's that rumor that if the government shuts down, they can willfully just fire people.
No, they just, oh no, it's not that they're fired. It's not like fired like fired forever. It's fired like if your company said we're not shipping anything out for a while and they close their doors. Well, they don't have to pay you during that time necessarily, depending on what kind of contracts you have. But with the Social Security workers, for one, most of the people that process the checks are covered under federal law about protections for federal workers. But the problem is it can't get in the building to turn the machine on. So the machine that sends that money to my account may not get turned on. Then again, it may, because there are a lot of Republicans running around this state with like chickens with their head cuts off saying, no, don't cut off our seniors. Trust me, I can't walk fast, but if they get me up and walking, they don't want me there. And if you can't walk with someone, if you have a friend who can go to a demonstration or express your opinion, give them $5 for gas or whatever you can do. Because that's what I do when I can't get to places. Go on. What did Ian say?
Oh, it just kind of what we said. That maybe Pete wants to know who's going to be loyal to Trump and not the Constitution.
They can say whatever they want to say. And these guys are, I mean, they've made it this far in the military. They're pretty good at lying.
Jeff thinks that when he read on it that the military would be split.
Into what?
Not saying it, but where is Barron? I guess he dropped out of NYU, according to rumors.
It's hard to hide Barron. He's what, 6'9"?
Yeah. I guess he's not been going to class, last I heard rumored.
Well, his dad didn't go to class and he ended up president. So.
Okay.
Oh, I hope so, because that's my citizenship.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to trust my bunnies.
I cannot see how they can carve out that one. It seems like when it deals with the Constitution, they try to carve out little things. Like with Roe v. Wade, they didn't kick it off, they just sent it back to the states. So it's like a little carve out. And with Article 3 of the 14th Amendment, or whatever it is, right? They said Congress has to deal with it. It's not self-executing, so they just try to figure out little
pass the buck. When it's too hot, they pass the buck.
Right. As far as this, I can't imagine a carve out. Let's see.
They're not going to come up to an answer. I already got it. I got the sun. See a little bunny, and justice, because they can't figure out a way to make it work. So what they're going to give everybody is a lukewarm something that no one really believes in. It's going to have, they're not going to be stealing rights people already have, but they are, I think they're going to throw back write up something that can throw it back towards Congress, but I don't. I think they're going to uphold it, but they're not going to uphold it, which is typical of them.
So the pastor says we're going through dark times with the rule of law.
Right.
With the Constitution. Like at the dark time of what's established. Ace of Queen of Swords. Moving forward, Knight of Wands, that's that universal energy. King of Coins. And the Tower. To me, it feels like that's a failure on 45. Because we have what's right, I think, with the Knight of Wands. He's kind of like the 45 card, the guy in charge. And then we have a drastic change. It's like what he wants is a drastic change. That's what it feels like to me. Outcome is kind of weird. So the Queen of Cups to me feels like the United States, what's law. We're talking about birthright citizenship, which is in the Constitution. So here we got the Mother card, the Anxiety card, and then the Conflict card. So it doesn't really tell me in this read what they're going to do. It just says it's conflicted.
That's what I got. They're not going to change it. At the end of the day, we're going to have it because we got justice in the sun as the beginning of my thing. But they can't figure out a way to get rid of it.
So I'm leaning towards it's going to hold, because a card that flew out, which is my strength card, and then the bottom of the deck I have my Empress card. So Constitution and families hold. I think that's the way I'm going to go with it. That they can't figure out a carve out.
Not without Trump losing his kids being U.S. citizens.
I know, right? Like every child born to a person that's not a citizen has to go. That makes no sense. Does that mean Barron, Eric, Ivanka? We lose half the country.
Well, you lose half your show. I go away. I'll be on the border waving from my cousin. Yeah, there's so many lies. I get tired of fighting with people on my page. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't even want to post anymore because half the people are going to be lying to you. And are you even sure it's that person?
Yeah, it's people I know. It's those accounts that are like, say a name, whatever, and follow me,
And then it's crap.
And then it's crap. So I think some of those accounts.
I had an interesting conversation yesterday. A friend of mine's birthday was on Thursday. She crossed the line to becoming a 76er like me. And unfortunately, she was diagnosed last year with Alzheimer's. And she's in a really good area of the country where they have good health care. and they're doing everything they can to help her learn how to live with it, but she's on her own, basically. And we talked about it a little bit. We were talking about false media, and she said, well, at least I know it's because my brain's going. You guys don't have any guidance at all. I thought, that's sad. We're all getting Alzheimer's.
Hello, Clarence. Glad to see you here. Okay.
I don't know. Indigo, they don't touch me because I don't take those drugs. I don't even know which drugs are really affected by it.
They go into effect, hope. I know that the guy goes back and forth on stuff. It's crazy to even know what's going to happen, right?
He's a taco. Here today, gone tomorrow.
He supposedly put tariffs on 100% tariffs, whatever, on foreign drugs or something. I don't know. Let's just see what 3 cards say. I don't think it's going to happen with 3 cards.
Okay, let me see.
I think we got a taco moment. I got Magician, Ace of Swords, and the Tower.
Yeah, let me lay them quickly. I'm fast.
Many drugs come from India, Liz says.
Yeah, they really don't like India right now. No, it's going to get hung up. It's going to stop right, and that's the hangman. It's going to stop right in the middle. It's not going to go through. And eventually, what stops it from moving any further is all the drug companies. They want their profits, and they put their factories in India with the promise that and if he keeps pushing this stuff around, India will just nationalize their companies. And then that's the end of that for them. So no, I think what's going to happen is it's going to be like what happened with Jimmy Kimmel. It's going to bite the butts of the people who thought, well, we can just arrogantly run over people and who cares? And then Disney loses what, $4.5 billion in a day. And they go, oh, well, maybe we're not as safe as we thought. So I don't see it going through. I see it being held up. I see the hangman. So and Cece has a comment. They're putting off tariff hearings until November. That would block anything that they were going to do right now. So thank you, Cece.
So I did a search on the Wall Street Journal, and it says, how will the government shutdown affect Social Security and other payments? It says Social Security and other payments would continue.
That's been tradition in the past, but it was actually written that if this happens on this date, this happens. And that's of course, we all know how Sean knows everything in the world. He really doesn't, but he has looked and he can't find where that's being said. So I hope it does, kids, because I got a dog in that fight, as do all the arrogant young white men who think, oh, well, take away all those payments. What about when mom comes home?
Yeah. What I always heard, like my Nancy works at the VA. She would go to work and she wouldn't get paid. But she'd get her back pay when it's settled. The military is essential, so they would get paid.
Yeah, but they're apparently not even. They didn't do the thing to make them okay.
So this must be something else I don't know about.
I don't, and I mean, and I don't trust the Wall Street Journal because Rupert tells them what to put.
Well, when I Googled, there's like hundreds of articles to choose from, but I subscribe to the $1 a week to the Journal right now, and then when they boot it up, I cancel.
When they what?
because they always give you an introductory rate of like
Oh
a
yeah.
dollar a week, and then they change it when they bump it back up. Then I just cancel. I do that every once in a while for that Washington Post, Times. Every once in a while, just
Yeah.
get something like that to read a few articles like that. Okay. Um. Here in Australia, Tylenol is not on the menu. We have autism, so explain that one. So Rondell, what do you guys use for headaches if you don't have Tylenol?
I don't know.
Like,
White willow bark. Go back to what it came from in the first place.
okay. Okay, let's see where the start is. Sweet Darling asked about where is Mr. Kirk's parents and siblings? They've never been mentioned. So yeah, definitely they've been out of the media circus.
Because their son was killed. That's where I'd be. I'd be out of the media circus if my son was killed.
I mean, some of that high, you'd think they would at least put out a statement, like let us grieve or whatever, but nothing. I did hear a report they were at the Arizona shindig, but didn't want any publicity.
Good for them.
Oh, bailout. Since he did it the first time, gave him a $27 billion bailout.
Okay.
But now it's worse.
I know.
There's zero markets, at least in 2018 or whatever, when he was fighting with China. They took like 10% or whatever. There was Deb Z asked, before I go into that, Deb Z asked, why no autopsy on Mr. Kirk? There's
two. Haven't there been two?
It wasn't really reported. So, I mean, more info would be more helpful to inquiring minds.
They're going to try to get him a bailout, Scott. But the money's not there. I mean, just money's not there. They're going to try to come to some kind of agreement that makes people happy. They're standing in the gardens with all of their crops and foods, and what do we do with it now? But then we got the Five of Cups reversed. They're going to really try to work something out. But look at the out card is the Five of Pentacles. There's no place to go. I mean, you can only build up so many bad things, and then you've boxed yourself in a corner.
Well, the money should be sitting there from what they ripped away from Biden. The money was approved. They just took it away. So it should be sitting in the account and to reinstall that. That's all they really have to do.
But they'd have to be focused on caring about the farmers. And do you think they really care about the farmers? They aren't going to care about the farmers till they have their tractor circling the White House.
These people. I mean, it technically ain't a bailout. I mean, what Biden approved, the Democrats approved in 22 or whatever. It was just the ongoing agricultural funds they give out, whatever. So that wouldn't really help because that was just kind of like help for planting and the high costs of fertilizer and everything like that. Yeah, but with no markets to go with your soybeans and corn and whatnot, that is bad. So that's a different story. If a payout isn't going to help, you're still going to have millions of bushels of soybeans with nowhere to go. Okay. King of Cups, Ace of Cups, Light, which is a sun card, in the past. And I think that kind of means the money's there from Biden. That's what I think that means.
Mm-hmm.
They just could stop that, give that out for now. Because I think that money is available. Unless they illegally took it and gave it to ICE, that kind of thing. Moving forward, we got a dark woman, strength and restricted. Yeah, there's no help there. So is the Secretary of Agriculture a woman? I see there's this woman always on Fox News that always talks about the farmers. Yeah, but she's being restricted from helping in any way. Outcome, there's some kind of change. They get two men, a King of Wands, King of Swords, and the Knight of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
Knight of Cups would be coming to help. We got proposals. But then we got leaders and an authoritarian leader coming for assistance. And I got disasters on the bottom.
This next week's not going to be a good week for any of these guys.
Giving assistance. Well, I did not get coins.
Nope.
I didn't get any coins.
All I got was trouble and problems. And
yeah, there's a lot of problems here. I think this could be just talking. People coming together to talk about them. But the bottom card says no, it's going to be a failure, a disaster. Seems like this administration is going to starve them. Of course, if there's a change in the administration, like we're all praying for.
To what? Mrs. Maybelline?
That, yeah. Maybe they're both out and they don't have time to give a bailout this year. This year is only a few months away, so that's nothing gets done in this administration that quickly. Valerie says Mr. Kirk's sister is a liberal. And someone said Bernie's a Bernie supporter.
Good. It's nice to know their families like mine.
Yeah.
But still, it's your sibling. I mean, if my sibling got shot, I'd probably find the plane ticket to get to the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not.
U.S. is bailing out Argentina. Par for the course, right? Will they be the next detention center hub? I don't think so. It's not what I'm getting. I know it's chaotic. It's going through the courts all the time. It's unbelievably crazy for these poor people. But I always feel like the rule of law wins in the end, but it's going to definitely cause a lot of suffering.
Mm-hmm. I have my own theory on the missing immigrants. I don't think they were ever there. I think Steve Miller pumped his numbers. And now he doesn't. have to find it. No, it's absolutely not. I got completely no. Argentina's not. It's against the nature of the people there. That might be enough to push them over.
Yeah, I get chaos and no's too.
Hmm.
Page of Wands, Five of Swords, Five of Coins in the end.
Hmm.
That's oh crap. No funding. They have a terrible economy now.
This is about the sixth time this card's shown up at the end of questions. The Ace of Cups upside down. Nobody's getting what they want. Maybe we should work on getting what we need instead of what we want.
These people don't care, and it sucks.
Hmm.
Yeah, Clarence, it's scary. It is insane. Just keep hoping that enough people wake up. Oh yeah, Secretary of Agriculture is a woman.
Okay.
Yeah, that Brooke Rollins. She goes on Fox News and lies constantly. Yeah, Kai Trump is grifting from the White House. Kai Trump's 18 now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Which daughter? She's Marla Maples' daughter?
No, it's Don Jr.'s oldest.
Oh, okay.
She's the one that always. She's the only one that runs around with Grandpa, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Well, then she's got problems too.
Yeah.
She'll have a lot of shadow work to do in her 40s.
Yeah, there is that stuff with JD buying up bankrupt farms and corporate firms.
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. Argentina. Trump is following Argentina's playbook.
Hmm.
How to bankrupt a country. So what's up with the National Guard or military going to Portland?
Well, they're not in Chicago yet. So, what the mayor of Portland needs to do is have a strong meeting with the governor and themselves and say, don't bring them here. And Trump will go away and find someplace else to invade. Like maybe he ought to go to Memphis, which has the highest murder rate in the country.
Yeah. I mean, they're already doing it. The senators from Oregon, Seattle's mayor is reaching out to the Portland's mayor, say we're with you if you need help. Da, da, da. They've said we don't need you. You know, posting all kinds of pictures of how nice it is there. There's no need.
Mm-hmm.
So pushback works. I really just think it's all smoke and mirrors and BS because it's still the appeals at the Supreme Court. They haven't said whether his LA stuff was illegal or not. So I don't think they're going to be able to do anything. It's just smoke and mirrors, chaos. Yep, still restricted. Wants to, and I don't see it happening.
I don't either. I got judgment. It's nobody's going to want to go ahead and do that. How are they going to pay them? If we have a government shutdown, how are they going to send them there?
Good point.
Let's get to a practical question,
They're so dumb. What should you expect for the next 2 weeks? All right. Let's do a 2-week reading. Which card wants? This card wants these. How many? How many cards?
I'm going to do 5 and 5. I'm going to do 5 on the first week of October
Okay.
and the second week of October. Okay.
I'll shuffle for 5 cards. What we should expect. What do you expect this week? One, two.
Okay.
Next week. What should we expect next week?
Okay. You ready to go? You want me to go?
You can go.
Okay.
I'm still shuffling for next week.
People are still pitching around. They're not sure. It's so foggy. And nobody's telling anybody the straight news. But I think people are really, really getting bored. I mean, getting angry about having to sit and listen to this chit chat. So something's going to come to light late in the week. It's going to help us move on. And then our out card that week is the star. That's the first week. So that's good. The second week is after the star, we're sitting there with the Empress, where something's going to shift things. It's going to make people feel better about where we are. There's no more juggling. People are going to be making decisions. There's no more waiting on the crops to come in. There's going to be a lot of discord around what's going on because it's got the 3 of Cups, but we're clearly moving on. We're moving from the dark space to the light. I hope I'm right.
That's what I got for next week.
Okay.
Same. Next week is going to be better. I'm getting some chaos this week. I mean, we got a shutdown looming, so this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
5 of Wands of petty bickering. And then we got a death card with an ending of change of something. Rebirth. So maybe there's a deal coming at the final hour or the day after a brief shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
And I get the 7 of Cups. That's illusions, wishful thinking. The Strength card and the 8 of Cups, walking away. So it feels like people come together. It just feels like a lot of chaos, right? A lot of back talking, no one working together. And then there's some kind of coming together to walk away from this chaos. So it feels like there could be a day or two of a shutdown, then they come together kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's chaotic. Next week, I have creative beginnings with the Page of Cups, Chariot,
Mm-hmm.
Strength. We got victory. We got moving forward. And then things getting better with that 6 of Swords like you had.
Mm-hmm.
Ace of Pentacles and King of Wands. So we got new opportunities and King of Wands. So there's a big change from this week to next week. It could be prosperous information. The Chariot could bring out a lot of good things.
Right.
Next
We're moving fast. Whatever's going to happen, if you got a Chariot, my readings, that always means things are going to be moving fast.
We got the Epps information coming out. The committee dripped a few things the other day because they got 8,500 documents from the state that they can drip out.
Mm-hmm.
They said they got to redact any names first before they're going to release. But the committee said, the Democrats in that committee said they're releasing everything, all those 8,500 pages, once the women are redacted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen, but the first drip was Elon Musk, Peter Thiel,
Mm-hmm.
and who's the other one? There's 3 names that were involved with him setting up meetings.
Too bad we don't have the Spanish Inquisition, because if people got caught up in doing that kind of stuff during the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition lasted for 300 years. So people learned what was going to happen to them. And too bad we don't have them. I mean, not that they did good things, but they went and got people that didn't pass certain tests.
Did you hear when Governor Wheelie had those special elections in Texas?
Oh, what? They're both on the 28th, and they're both in November this year.
So he waited till November.
Oh yeah, he waited till the last bitter day. There's there in Houston. There's 28 people running for one seat,
Good
but
Lord.
it would be whatever the highest number is, and I don't know what's going on in the other seat.
Yeah, that's what I've seen too. The governor spoke out in Oregon. Portland's mayor spoke out. Things are peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy. Valerie wants an early test. Will Mr. James be the Democrat nominee, or will Aldred? Because there's no guarantee.
Colin Allred.
There's no guarantee James is going to be the nominee.
I like him. I think he's okay. The problem is that, well, the state Democratic Party just moved its headquarters to Dallas from Austin, and the good news about that is most of the people that work for the Texas State Democratic Party quit because they didn't want to move to Dallas, which is, as far as I am, having been a Democratic consultant, that's one of the best things that ever happened. Because those folks they did nothing. I mean, you'd go down there and you'd say, we need help with this. And they move. So they've got a whole new group of folks coming up here. So I don't know if the people up here will be any better. But
so I shuffled and I asked for either give me a king first, or whichever card, James is a younger guy. So right. I was asking for a knight or a page for James. Give me a king if it's going to be Aldred. First card out I got is King of Pentacles.
It's going to be Aldred because he already ran once and he's got the power structure to do it.
So according to the first card I shuffled out, Colin Allred's going to be the nominee.
And not only that, Allred can beat a Cornyn. The problem with Tallarico is he doesn't have the reach across the state that Allred has. Allred's already done. People don't realize how big Texas is. In the disenfranchisement they just did with the redistricting, it was the equivalent of 6 states in the U.S. taking away their congressional representation. That's how many voters it is. It's huge. And so when people say, I want to run in this state, it's like you think it's almost impossible to put your brain around what you're going to have to go through. And Colin Allred's a good guy. And so is James. We're fortunate. We don't have a former member of the KKK running as the person. And that's
yeah.
It's true. Cornyn's in my generation, and I knew people at SMU that knew him when he was young, and his family was tied to the KKK. So this is for entertainment purposes only, and it's gossip I picked up at university. But this is the quality of people we've had. And then when Cornyn sounds sane next to Trump, then that really makes you worry. You know
Yeah.
what Rick Perry's family farm was called? There was a part of it was called the N-word Hill.
Oh, Jesus.
I know.
Well, Cornyn's got to beat the other corrupt guy,
Paxton.
Paxton. Yeah.
Paxton has to survive his divorce, and and Trump's folks, someone not needing a really big distraction on Epstein and coming and getting Paxton. You know.
Oh, for the heck of it. Jeff was wondering what else is in about Elon in the files.
Okay. Do I have to? I've got to get. I'm not going to do
What the
that.
heck? I'm kind of curious how deep it goes.
I'm going to get out my pagan tarot cats cards. I'm not going to do that to my bunnies.
Let's see what it says about Mr. Musk. Was it just a bit of business or was it funny business? And supposedly the rumor is that Mr. Epps knew an acquaintance or a girl that he set up Elon's brother with.
Mm.
His wife is supposedly an acquaintance, is the rumor.
Well, Melania was part of that
True.
world. So.
That true? How deep does Elon go in the Epps files? How deep does it go with the Epps files? Mr. Elon.
Oh, he goes way back. He's in the very beginnings of some of this stuff. This is the Ace of Wands. And he never thought he'd have to worry about any of that coming back to haunt him, that he'd have to look back at it. It's hit lots and lots of money, lots and lots of reputation. And then this for Epps could be, this for Elon could be the end of his world because he does this. I'm this big guy. I have 47 children by 57 women or whatever that crap is. But the out card for him, it's the Nine of Swords. It's a weird Nine of Swords. It's a cat climbing up a lonely tree with a sword hanging over its tail, but that's a Nine of Swords. This is going to really upset Epps' little world. I mean, Elon's little world. Did Epstein supply boys?
There's rumors that too, yeah.
Because that's what I saw was it's more these guys are more scrambling about not. It's like the guy in Wisconsin that was he running in the governor's race that had to withdraw because they found him on 29 different sites of kind of every description. And I'm like, do what you want to do. But this guy was really doing everything. And he's a family values guy.
Yeah, he dropped out of the Wisconsin race after 11 weeks after people found he likes a lot of things online. And he said, I was doing it for research.
Nobody needs to, I could look at it for 2 minutes. That's enough research. I know it's there. Fine. Thank you.
Okay. In the past, I get Queen of Coins, Queen of Cups.
Yep, I do.
And Seven of Cups. So we got women of finance or accumulating money through women, motherly figures, and then fantasizing. So a lot of female energy there, and then he's fantasizing about something.
It's because he hates his mother.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
but then I got some.
What they do? Find out old ladies he could beat up.
Then I got some dark things that he has done, offers, and there we have traveling. So he went on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking he went to Epps Island. He got offered and did some dark things. So then I got the Wheel of Fortune in the end, my magician, and then the moon. He's praying some dark secrets do not come out. This could mean his life is changing in a different circle. He's trying to find some way to keep things hidden. Of course, this could be some of his interest in like eugenics. Because
I can think of a person we could start with if we want to talk about eugenics.
So yeah, I mean, there's some financial ties there with the 9 and 10 of coins. But yeah, there's things he wants hidden, and he did some dark things.
Happy 75th birthday, Pegasus.
Yeah, kind of strange. But when he went all in for 45, he was more worried about his businesses and getting the investigation shut down. I didn't think he realized this was going to go in a darker path.
No.
And it's kind of strange that he mentioned release the Epstein files. And then they find out he's in it.
Guess who's in there?
Oh boy. I think he thought he had his outs or things were hidden from his world, his ties.
Not really. It's all in there. Couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of pervs. These guys should have read their ancient Roman history. As soon as Caesar took over, all the guys that followed Caesar, I mean, they actually make Epstein stuff. I mean, it looks like that's just kind of how the world was, you know.
Oh yeah, Steve Bannon was the other person. That was yeah. Bannon, Thiel, and Musk were the first three mentioned. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I guess
you'd have to be a prisoner on an island to go near Steve Bannon.
Yeah. But it's about meetings, and Steve did report he was hanging out with them, getting interviews about a book, which he hasn't released yet. He hasn't released hardly any information about his time there. So that would make sense that he was in those notes of having a meeting.
He's busy washing all of his multiple shirts. Just imagine how much laundry you have when you wear 3 shirts at a time. You know, really?
Yeah. So let's see, do we see any massive protests? That could give us a clue if the shutdown's going to happen and have people upset.
You mean like this is like a national strike, right?
Yeah. I mean, there could be people going to Washington, D.C. Do we see a big protest happening about the shutdown? If the shutdown.
Protests. It hasn't been decided yet.
Is worry. Yeah. I mean, I get the evaluate card. So patients are waiting to see. Our worries about money. And then
when it happens, it's going to happen fast.
Go into a dark time. But then I get the death card, Page of Wands, and then angelic forces, my angelic forces card. So when this comes up, it's always good things happening. It's like a 3 more. No, I don't see protests. So I think, I like before. I think the shutdown is either short or last minute approval.
Okay, what I see is from the vibration of today, we're like in the hangman position. There's people talking about it, but they're not going to push for it because they're not ready to handle what they need to do it. And it just, the trigger for it to happen hasn't happened yet. But I do see it's real possibility after October, and when it comes, it's going to come suddenly. It's going to be like a massive uprising. And I think it's 50-50 whether it will happen.
Have you ever read, do food stamps get stop going out with the shutdown?
Okay.
I don't.
I'm going to look it up and see if there's any articles written about it, because all I can go by is what I've known from the past, and that doesn't help us much. Not that I knew a whole lot from the past, but. What?
They're talking about Laura Loomer. You mean Jigsaw?
They would continue during a government shutdown. The duration and delivery of benefits would depend on the length of the existing federal resources. If shutdown is prolonged, the program would face disruption. But right now, there's something built in. They may have a 90-day window that they're already set out into. I don't know, but that's the best AI has to offer. But I want AI's never done my astrologic chart that it got my rising sign right. So
Liz is wondering how that.
I dislike Laura Loomer so much. Please read on her, because
she is a crazy one, but she's got high influence.
Oh,
in Trump's ear. Did
you hear the rumor that Charlie Kirk's wife, the 36-year-old over the hill woman that he would speak badly about from the bench, she was one of the people who ran Trump's teenage beauty pageants?
She was in the pageant.
She was in them?
She was, what was that? So the new prosecutor that did the indictment of Comey.
Right.
In 2009, Erica Kirk and Lindsay Halligan were in the pageant at the same time.
Oh.
In Colorado. They went to the same college together.
Yeah. All the beauty pageant queens at SMU used to hang out together.
Regis College. They played basketball for Regis College together. What the coincidences. But then they moved to Arizona, and then Erica Kirk won there. But Trump owned all that. So he would have connections or know who these women are. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. But the odds of that happening are astronomical.
Well,
but the connections come around a decade later.
Decades later.
Is nuts.
But when you're my age, that beauty pageants were a way that a lot of girls earned their way into college. That's how they paid their tuition. I went to school with a lot of them at SMU that got their tuition paid by going to beauty pageants. But that's before we found out they were perv farms.
So I'm going to throw some cards and see how long Loomer's going to be around. Not long.
Is she leaving with everybody else, or is she just leaving on her own?
I gotta dig into it all. So yeah, I get the Queen of Coins coming out in the past here, so that's 45.
Mm-hmm.
Ace of Coins and 5 of Wands. So I think she's there to find evidence on the social media sphere and whatever to cause chaos. That was the past.
Mm-hmm.
The current situation, she's still embroiled. It's like they want her to find dirt on people. So Strength card, 4 of Wands, and 3 of Coins. It's being in and looking for evidence, being the detective. But then my outcome is 8 of Swords. She's going to be isolated. High stress and burdens. 6 of Cups of what she's done, and then she's locked out.
Is she locked out or locked up?
I don't think she's locked up.
Okay.
You know, not in that sense. Not yet. We're just because I'm only asking about how long she's gonna be around in MAGA world. Something's gonna happen in October.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's too long.
Something's on the 6th or the 7th, depending on where you live.
So yeah, she does high influence.
Mm-hmm.
She's part of it for a reason. But I don't see her happening, being around too much longer, as far as that influence goes. So according to that, October could be a reckoning month.
Yep. Okay. Sean's taken a long look at this, and he and I have discussed it. And a lot of it has to do with timing, and a lot of it has to do with parties being organized and ready to hop on however it goes. Yes, there are some areas that used to be hardcore red that had gone blue. They've taken those up, chopped them up. There are some Republicans who are very upset because they've been put into what could appear to be more competitive races, but I don't think it'll give them 10. And I don't know. I mean, go to CLSB Politics. Sean's doing a whole thing on, he's doing a ton of shows, and I don't care where you are in the country, you'll be on there. He's doing all the primaries, and the primaries start in March, I believe, and they go until September, which I've never understood. You states that have your primaries in September, that gives you no time to get to know who's running for the office in November. But everybody used to want to be part of the March primaries, because during presidential years, those were the only primaries that anybody watched, other than Iowa and New Hampshire, which are the first two. And anyway, he's doing a whole show, and when he looked at all the information and cut it down, it's going to be 60 some shows. His shows only run about 20 minutes. And he said that he thinks they have screwed the pooch in some places, but what they're doing now is there's 2 ways you can gerrymander. One is to pack, which is to take all the voters of a certain ilk and stick them into giant districts so that they don't spread out all over the place. And the other thing is to crack them up, to crack up your voting strength and to crack up your opponent's running strength. But the thing that is the reason Sean and I, nobody can tell you what's really going to happen, is This is based on census information that was gathered during COVID, and it's incredibly inaccurate information. So, and plus, a lot of people have shifted. A lot of people that wanted to be independents because they didn't want to sully their hands with politics. Well, now politics is coming and sullying their lives. So they're going to be out there voting. So it's a matter of who gets their voters out. Does that answer the question? I can't throw cards on it because I don't think there's a meaningful way to do that.
So yeah, the way things been going, Democrats been outperforming by 18 points on all the special elections. So you look at that, no redistricting is going to change anything, especially if this chaos continues. People are getting hurt. So kind of a good question, because nothing really changes anything, you know. It comes out on 45 and Republicans just lie and Fox News redirects. So if the files all came out, would it change anything?
Okay, I'll ask that question. Well, it changed. Look at what happened when your guy in Wisconsin, when his files came out. And there'll be people up in Wisconsin saying, well, if he was family values and now they're telling me this is true, you know, anything that makes them look at something twice and not just have a Pavlovian response to what's said.
Well, if the MAGA voters get serious enough and the Republicans actually like, oh crap, we are seriously cooked, they would 25th him in a heartbeat.
No. What I got is it's taken them forever to get them out, which has dragged it out. We've got an 8 of Pentacles, which is, there's a lot of questionable work in there. There's the Knight of Pentacles, not moving forward with anything of value, but the out cards are the 7 of Wands, which is creating a new defense structure, and then the 9 of Cups that people can get. People are going to get what they want from this. If they want to think it's dirty and disgusting and hideous and horrible and it should not happen. The thing is, I don't see how anybody says, how are we going to stop another Epstein from happening? How are we going to stop another island from happening?
Good point.
All I hear is we're going to point the finger at all the people that already did all this nasty, dirty stuff. And if it had happened to me and I was a victim, that would be fine. I would like their names to be out there. But I don't see how it's stopping it from going on right now.
I don't remember where, but DOJ, different investigation, but they just indicted a sex trafficker group or people.
Cool.
I can't remember where, but it was a long ongoing case. It could have been it was probably ongoing during the Biden administration. It's
very hard to get all the pieces together, because even if you find the victims, when they go before juries and people to make judgments, people go, well, look at what they were doing. Yeah, well, why were they doing it? Because they were 13 and stupid, you know?
Okay, this is what I get. In the past, I get Queen of Swords, Page of Wands, and 7 of Swords. That's all that distraction. I think the Queen of Swords is Maxwell. 7 of Swords is obviously the liar card. So what came out was just distracted in the past, okay? The current energy is Justice. Justice coming out. Chariot, it's coming soon. And the Devil.
Mm-hmm.
We will know what they did.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's coming out at some point, no matter what. I think it's strong with the Chariot. Moving forward, the Hangman, the Star, and Judgment. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get judgment upon them.
Mm-hmm.
The Star brings out light. The Star brings out clarity. And the Hangman's going to put people in a different position in their life. Outcome, I get Four of Swords. Sickness, people are going to be worried, wanting to hide. Eight of Wands is that energy coming in the speedy news. 10 of Cups. Families, homes, celebrating. And people are going to be in that Eight of Swords position. Frustrated, feeling bound up and gagged, locked up. So I believe it will change. It will change things.
Okay, good.
I really, this is a powerful reading for huge change. Because there's a lot of MAGA folks that want those files out too. And they're going to take it to heart. It's been in their conspiracy theory for 10 years. Because they thought Hillary was part of that ring.
No, the thing is, they always talk about what they do like somebody else did it.
I think it will make change.
Okay.
This is, I don't know. I had a lot of majors in that read.
I hope it does, because.
And it says it's coming fast with that Chariot. So let's hope. 122. Okay. Well, we have a start here that I didn't get to. Bailout. It's a good one. How's healthcare going to go in 2026? We got a lot of craziness with that big, beautiful bill. Hospitals worried. Lots going up. There's already closures happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, they've lost the 5 major rural clinics in Virginia have closed.
Bless you, Kristen. Thank you.
So what are we reading on?
How's our healthcare system going to be in 2026? Will it be changed? Will it be chaotic?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that stopped the current course? Healthcare system in 2026. What's going to happen with the healthcare system? What's going to happen?
A lot of people are going to wake up to what a mess it's been in. I have the Knight of Cups and the Hangman, and the Hangman where it sits in this reading means nothing's happening right now. But better minds are going to come together and realize we need to handle this differently. And there's going to be investments made differently. The 7 of Pentacles. But it's not because Trump tried to help.
That's true.
It's just going to happen because people are going to realize what a problem it's in.
Currently, I get Justice, 6 of Pentacles, and the Tower.
Mm-hmm.
There's no balance right now. The money is not coming in with the giving and receiving as it should.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's collapsing already. Moving forward, it's a wait and see with the 4 of Cups. We already have losses going on with the 5 of Cups with lack of funding. 10 of Pentacles. my outcome, the moon. So I think the healthcare system really doesn't know exactly how it's going. They're kind of preparing. The Page of Pentacles. There may be an influx of money somehow. Temperance, wait and see. Eight of Swords. They're locked up.
Mhm.
I think we're still in a wait and see moment because I think the healthcare and the hospitals and don't really know how bad it's going to be either. They're preparing. They're already preparing with costs and budgets and who they release. But overall, I feel it's going in a bad way, and they're preparing appropriately. So I get the moon basically in the end in temperance. So it's a wait and see how bad it's going to be. But the Eight of Swords is not showing a good outcome unless things change big time. It's kind of like you said, it takes what, 2 years to get out of a recession? Because we signed.
No, it was 2 years. Okay, in the 1800s, it was 2 years. It's now down to about a year for it to cycle around. But it averages out to like 14 months. But that's if people want to get out of it. When you've got somebody who's sitting there killing your government systematically, they don't want to get out of it. So,
well, it basically took 2 years to get out of the COVID crisis.
right.
They signed all those bills in mid 2022, and by the summer of 24, we're pretty much back to normal as much as possible. Investments going in. We weren't blowing money like crazy.
Well,
Because it feels like right now, with the tariffs and everything, you can get it back quicker
right.
than the COVID situation. So, yeah, I think it would take a year if we reverse course on all this chaos they're doing to get people back in the jobs, get the federal government back on, stop all this wasteful spending, shut down what ICE is doing. But the rule of law is going to take a long time to get back. And
It's not that they have to write new rules. We can't have these gentlemen agreements as to how things work.
Right. I mean,
And this crap that grew up over time where the Supreme Court makes rulings off docket. What court makes rulings off docket? I mean,
they do.
Well, they do, yeah.
Let's see.
We're freaking everybody out.
Well, just sharing what we're feeling.
Mm-hmm. You know, guys, at the end of the day, there are people trained to be in healthcare systems, and there are giant hospitals sitting there. Where our health system went off the rails was during Nixon's administration. Hospitals used to not be able to be profit driven. They couldn't be the place. They couldn't run themselves to make a profit. And it's only when they became profit centers and they got taken over by the HCAs and these giant healthcare companies, and everything was profit driven, and the surgeries that they do and how the doctors would treat people would be based totally on profit. Used to be if someone showed up in your emergency room, you treated them, and if you couldn't get money out of them, that's just too bad. I mean, but you had to be geared up to do that. And it's a different kind of societal norm, but it's also kind of the way it ought to be. And if that's universal health care, then more power to it, you know?
Yeah. You think having a better healthcare system and having everyone healthcare is better than the people that don't have healthcare using the emergency room as healthcare.
Right. Or before Social Security, when old people used to just go out and die on the streets. You know,
But no, it's not the GOP way.
That's not the GOP way. The GOP is to drive us into poverty and to follow the Ronald Reagan plans of feed the rich man.
Unreal. All righty.
Okay, everybody, but you got to figure out your own path through this. And I'm afraid today's show was not as uplifting as we usually try to make them, but things are getting better.
Okay. Let's see what kind of hope we can bring out with a message.
Okay, let's see. What do I got?
At 1:30. Trying to be honest, because
I know
this administration is just not doing anything for the people, and eventually things are going to collapse.
You think?
Yep, we know.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pick Fairy Wisdom Oracle Tarot cards just because they're a little bit lighter. And we do have some light coming in, guys. You have to go out and look for it, though. And you're not going to find it on Facebook.
Well, my job in meat delivery, we've had erratic orders coming in days late with our meat purchases. And that disrupts.
Do you have meat? Do you have meat to give them, though?
Yeah, we've had some, but other stuff has been delayed. So I have to run back around to the same places to give them what they needed when our orders come in late. So those big companies are yeah, I kind of got bad head and I tried to do something, but then after a while it dries out. And
well, Danny shouldn't talk. All he needs to do is find a rubber band in his hair.
Maybe that hair. But anyway, it's been chaotic at my work because we're not getting our meat orders on time from Arkansas, and so they're probably having worker problems.
That's true.
Okay. Whew. Well, I got one bad card at the 5 of Winter. So that's the chaos card. But it's what you choose, because the other cards are pretty good. The other two. So it's something not worth your effort. That 5 of Winter. Choose your own happiness. And Queen of Summer, the Queen of Cups, is the love and caring energy. Listening to your heart and your intuition. And then the 8 of Coins. The 8 of Autumn. And that's the continual work, the continual hard work on being a better person, better budgeter, looking forward to the future, good craftsmanship. It just feels like there's continual work. Continual work to be the best person, the best community member that we can be. Go ahead.
Well, I got painting poppies. Oops, that's the wrong side of the card. Painting poppies. And feel the creative force moving through your body. Feel the end for something more. Your gifts emerge from within your being. I implore them to the best of my ability from the light and joy of all. And what it is, it's all about creativity. All of us have something we're kind of really good at, or that where we can go and we can relax, even if it's going out for a walk and looking at plants and stuff. But go out and do something creative, because we are so close to surviving all this, guys, that don't give up now. That's all the readings I've done. This week's going to be kind of a mess in many ways, but their things are going to come to light. Yeah, cute puppies, doggies, funny cats, silly parrot videos. Do that stuff, guys. And when people say, "Oh, that's just escapism," no, it's not. It's survival.
Yeah.
And so, what's on your schedule this week other than driving your truck around?
Just work. Been playing. Some friends asked me to play fall softball league on Wednesdays. 3 more weeks of that.
Tomorrow at 11, I'm interviewing Diana Bowles for the psychic profiles.
Good.
And then I'm going to run a show on Tuesday for somehow, and then I went back to you. Okay, we got to go to the next week. Okay, the first, second, third, and I'm interviewing Val from Dragon Crystal on Friday. And I'm going to do my regular Tuesday show in between. So
Good.
So come on over and visit.
Go visit Nancy Jean's psychic profiles and her.
Just reading you. What's going on with us, each individual.
Good deal. All right. Thanks for everyone for stopping in today.
Bye.
Be good.